Look around you. Why do some people seem stuck in financial struggles, broken relationships, and constant stress, while others attract success, health, and peace of mind? Is it luck, or is there something deeper at work? According to Dr. Joseph Murphy, the answer lies in a powerful force most people use every day without truly understanding: the subconscious mind. Welcome back to Books Breakdown, where we simplify the world's most influential books into practical lessons you can apply immediately. Today, we're exploring the power of your subconscious mind. In this video, we'll break down the book, chapter by chapter, uncovering the key principles and techniques Murphy used to help people overcome fear, improve their lives, and achieve greater success. If you're ready to understand the hidden force shaping your thoughts, actions, and results, let's get started. Chapter 1, The Treasure House Within You. Dr. Murphy introduces the foundational premise of the entire book. There is an infinite, untapped goldmine of intelligence, love, and resourcefulness deep within your subconscious mind. This inner reservoir is fully operational right now, waiting for you to open your conscious awareness and recognize its presence. To illustrate this, he compares human beings to a piece of steel. A magnetized piece of steel can lift 12 times its own weight, but if you remove that magnetic charge, it cannot lift a simple feather. Similarly, a magnetized person is full of confidence, clarity, and an unshakable expectation of success. Conversely, a demagnetized person is paralyzed by fear, doubt, and self-limiting beliefs, convinced that the world is inherently working against them. The master secret of the ages is not atomic energy, planetary exploration, or advanced technology. It is the miracle-working power of your subconscious. Your conscious mind acts as the initiator, the chooser, and the thinker, but your subconscious contains the infinite wisdom required to heal your body, manifest wealth, and bring you into perfect alignment with ideal partners and environments. The overarching law of life is simply the law of belief. A belief is essentially a thought firmly rooted in your subconscious mind. What you write internally through your dominant thoughts, persistent emotions, and deeply held assumptions, you will inevitably experience externally in your physical environment, your relationships, and your financial standing. To change your life, you must stop fighting external effects and completely redirect the focus of your inner treasure house. Chapter 2, How Your Own Mind Works. This chapter differentiates between the dual nature of your mind, the conscious, objective, and the subconscious, subjective. Murphy explains that the conscious mind is like the captain or navigator standing at the bridge of a ship. The captain looks through instruments, assesses the weather, makes deliberate judgments, and signals commands down to the engine room. The crew members in the engine room do not question the captain's direction, nor do they look out the window to verify the path. They simply carry out the orders exactly as received. If the captain issues a faulty command based on poor calculations, the ship goes straight onto the rocks, and the crew unknowingly assists in the disaster. Your subconscious mind functions exactly like that engine room crew. It does not reason, argue, or filter thoughts. It acts strictly on the major premises handed down by your conscious choices and habitual beliefs. Psychologists have proven via clinical hypnosis that the subjective mind is highly amenable to suggestion. If a negative suggestion is planted and accepted as truth, the subconscious will work round the clock to alter your behavior, perceptions, and physical conditions to turn that suggestion into objective reality. You must actively guard the gateway of your mind against negative, external opinions and your own self-criticism. Consistently choose life, health, and joy over hand-me-down limitations, understanding that whatever your conscious mind fully accepts, your subconscious mind will execute without exception. Chapter 3, The Miracle, Working Power of Your Subconscious. Your subconscious mind is the literal architect of your physical body. It works silently 24 hours a day, seamlessly regulating your heartbeat, managing your breathing, filtering toxic waste, managing digestion, and orchestrating incredibly complex biological processes without requiring a single conscious thought from your waking mind. Because it is the vital power that built your intricate organs from scratch in the womb, it possesses the native blueprints, formulas, and structural designs required to repair and restore them at any point in your life. Murphy notes that your deeper mind is your personal book of life, an ongoing record of every thought you have ever emotionalized. When you feed your mind negative, toxic, or anxious thought patterns, you disrupt the natural, life-ward rhythm of your body. This mental friction translates directly into physical ailments like ulcers, heart tension, insomnia, and nervous breakdowns. By using concentrated mental imagery and intentionally drenching your mind with life-affirming declarations of perfect health and vitality, you clear away the psychological blocks holding back your physical recovery. When you let go of conscious strain, you allow the innate, miracle-working healing currents of the universe to flow unhindered through your nervous system, restoring the body to its natural state of harmony. Chapter 4. Mental healings in ancient times. Throughout ancient history, people witnessed miraculous healings at various shrines, temples, holy sites, and through ancient rituals across the globe. Dr. Murphy strips away the dense layer of superstition, mysticism, and mythology surrounding these historical events to reveal a singular psychological truth. There is only one universal healing principle, and it operates entirely through faith and the subjective compliance of the subconscious mind. Whether an ancient priest used an elaborate ritual, a magical incantation, a special potion, or a piece of a purported holy relic, the external object itself held zero independent medicinal power. Instead, the intense psychological expectations, the absolute mental receptivity, and the unshakable belief of the suffering patient triggered the subconscious mind's autotherapeutic response. Even when the conscious premise of the healing was based on historical error, myth, or scientific inaccuracy, the subconscious mind didn't care. It accepted the deeply emotionalized belief as an absolute command and reshaped the physical body accordingly. This proves that you do not need to rely on external talismans. The power to heal is already built into the very fabric of your mind. Chapter 5. Mental healings in modern times. In modern times, we do not need to rely on blind superstition or travel to faraway exotic shrines to achieve deep psychological or physical healing. Murphy explains that modern healing relies on a scientific, psychological understanding of prayer therapy, the harmonious interaction of the conscious and subconscious mind directed toward a precise, constructive goal. True faith is not a matter of intellectual creeds, specific church memberships, or theological dogmas. It is a clear, unwavering mental acceptance that what you are affirming is already a psychological reality. Murphy also details the mechanics of what he calls absent treatment, or distance healing. Because there is only one creative, subjective mind common to all individuals, space and distance are completely non-existent in the realm of the subconscious. When you quietly realize an ideal state of health, peace, or vitality for a loved one in your own mind, you clear away your own doubts about them. This sets off a corresponding kinetic vibration in their subjective field, opening the door for their physical recovery, even if they are thousands of miles away. Chapter 6. Practical Techniques in Mental Healings. This is a highly practical chapter, outlining the exact technical toolkits required to effectively imprint the subconscious mind without encountering mental resistance. Murphy highlights several core techniques that anyone can use. The visualization technique, forming a vivid, crystal-clear mental movie of your desired outcome and feeling its physical reality until it becomes a baseline subjective pattern. The Baudouin technique, named after Charles Baudouin. This involves getting into a relaxed, drowsy, or sleepy state where conscious resistance is minimized and repeating a short, simple phrase that encapsulates your victory over a problem, such as, "It's wiped out by divine order." The thank you technique, expressing sincere gratitude for an answered prayer before it manifests in the physical world, aligning your heart with the abundance of the universe. The affirmative method, intentionally stating that a specific positive state is true, maintaining that conviction regardless of any sensory evidence to the contrary until it materializes. The argumentative method, reasoning out why a sickness or problem has no real power over you until your mind completely relaxes and accepts freedom. Chapter 7. The Tendency of the Subconscious. Is life ward? The innate momentum of the universe is heavily biased toward harmony, growth, evolution, and continuous preservation. More than 90% of your total mental life is subconscious, which means that the overwhelming majority of your inner power is constantly working to sustain, heal, and optimize your existence. Sickness, lack, and discord are fundamentally abnormal states. Health, vitality, and progress are your natural birthrights. When humans suffer, it is almost always due to conscious interference, feeding the mind negative suggestions, clinging to deep-seated grudges, or obsessing over worst-case scenarios. Your subconscious mind is always trying to speak to you through intuition, gut feelings, and dreams, urging you to rise, expand, and move toward greater joy. By leaning heavily upon your subconscious, letting go of hypervigilant control, and declaring that divine right action is taking place, you align your personal mind with the grand, life-ward currents of the universe, and your problems begin to dissolve naturally. Chapter 8. How to get the results you want. The primary reason people fail to get results from their prayers or affirmations is that they use too much effort, willpower, and mental force. Murphy introduces the law of reversed effort, which states that when your desires and your imagination are in conflict, your imagination will always win. If you desperately want to succeed, but your imagination is constantly running vivid movies of failure, humiliation, and financial ruin, your subconscious will unfailingly produce the failure you imagine. Using intense willpower or mental coercion only highlights your deep-seated anxiety, signaling to your subconscious that there is a massive obstacle in your way. When you try to force yourself to believe something while feeling panicked, you actually double the power of the negative state. The secret rule of thumb is easy does it. Relax your analytical mind, enter a calm, receptive state, drop all mental combat, and let your imagination rest entirely on the joyful feeling of the final, completed result. Treat your mind like a garden. You don't stomp on seeds to make them grow. You plant them gently and let nature do the rest. Chapter 9. How to use the power of your subconscious for wealth. Wealth is not fundamentally an accumulation of paper money, physical assets, or gold. Wealth is a deeply ingrained state of consciousness. If you want to break free from financial lack, you must stop trying to solve your money problems by merely reacting to external circumstances or working yourself to the bone out of panic. Murphy warns against making affirmations that cause immediate mental conflict. If you are broke and constantly declare, "I am a multimillionaire," your conscious mind will instantly reject it as a lie, and your subconscious will validate the underlying feeling of lack. Instead, use neutral, expanding concepts like wealth, success, and prosperity, because these words don't imply a specific timeline or amount. By repeating these words smoothly and rhythmically before sleep, your mind sidesteps internal conflict, accepts the underlying idea of abundance, and begins to draw compound interest in the form of financial breakthroughs, unexpected opportunities, and brilliant business insights. Chapter 10. Your right to be rich. It is your absolute, divine right to be rich, prosperous, and successful. You are not on this earth to live in a wretched hovel, dress in rags, or constantly stress over how you will pay your next electrical bill. You are here to live a life of complete abundance, to expand your horizons, and to possess all the resources necessary to live a full, happy, and creatively unrestricted life. Dr. Murphy explains that money is simply an external symbol of economic health, fluid circulation, and freedom in society. Just as blood must circulate freely through your body for you to remain physically healthy, money must circulate freely through your life for you to remain economically healthy. When money stops flowing, or when you begin to hoard it out of sheer terror, a severe state of economic illness sets in. Murphy issues a blistering critique against the dangerous, self-sabotaging mindset that views money as something inherently evil, unspiritual, or dirty. If you condemn money, refer to it as the filthy lucre, or look down upon those who have achieved massive financial success, money will quite literally grow wings and fly away from you forever. Why? Because your subconscious mind hears your criticisms and concludes that you never want to touch something you despise. You cannot attract what you actively criticize. To break out of the cycle of poverty, you must change your inner relationship with capital. See money as a positive tool for widespread good, a vehicle to bless your family, and a means to fund your highest creative expressions. Never try to get something for nothing. Instead, build a rich mind that focuses on providing immense value to humanity. When you firmly understand that your subconscious mind is an unfailing, eternal source of supply, you will always have plenty, regardless of whether the global economy is in a recession or a boom. Chapter 11. Your subconscious mind as a partner in success. True success means successful living, experiencing a long, unbroken period of inner peace, genuine joy, and deep psychological fulfillment. It is a massive mistake to confuse true success with the mere accumulation of material wealth, because a person can own multiple mansions and still feel completely bankrupt on the inside. To help you master this area, Dr. Murphy breaks true success down into 3 clear progressive steps. Step 1, find what you love to do and then do it fully. If you are stuck in a job you hate, you cannot be called a success, because true success requires you to be intensely interested in your craft. If you do not know what your true expression or life purpose is, you must ask your subconscious mind for guidance, and it will effortlessly direct your path. Step 2. Specialize in a particular field and master it completely. Do not try to be a mere jack of all trades. Become an expert who understands the nuances of your field better than anyone else. Crucially, ensure that your specialization is not purely selfish, but serves a greater human purpose. Step 3. This is the most vital step. Ensure your goals are aligned with a higher, noble ideal. If a person amasses a multi-million-dollar fortune via fraud, theft, or exploitation, they are an absolute failure in life. They will inevitably suffer from deep guilt complexes, physical ailments, severe insomnia, and an intense, constant dread of exposure. True success cannot exist without a clear conscience and inner peace. By filling your mind with the abstract, emotionalized idea of success right before you fall asleep, you build a powerful inner momentum that compels you to win honorably, beautifully, and effortlessly. Chapter 12. Scientists use the subconscious mind. Many of the world's greatest scientists, inventors, and discoverers achieved their monumental breakthroughs not through raw intellectual strain or exhausting conscious effort, but by intentionally leveraging the infinite wisdom of their subconscious minds. When historic figures like Nikola Tesla, Friedrich von Stradonitz, or Dr. Frederick Banting wrestled with highly complex problems that seemed utterly unanswerable, they followed a specific, reproducible psychological formula. First, they would saturate their conscious minds with all the available data, technical facts, and research. They did their homework. However, once the conscious mind hit a wall and could go no further, they didn't panic. Instead, they would consciously hand the problem over to the deeper, subjective mind right before falling asleep or entering a state of deep meditation. Friedrich von Stradonitz, for example, discovered the complex circular structure of the benzene ring after having a vivid subconscious dream of a snake biting its own tail. Dr. Banting spent months researching diabetes to no avail, until his subconscious mind handed him the exact formula for extracting insulin during a deep sleep. The all-wise subconscious mind takes the chaotic pieces of information you give it, organizes them perfectly behind the scenes, and presents the missing link, the hidden formula, or the invention, as a sudden, full-blown flash of insight when you least expect it. Trust this inner guidance completely. It can locate lost legal documents, reveal the solution to a complex business dilemma, and keep you steps ahead in your chosen career field. Chapter 13. Your subconscious and the wonders of sleep. Sleep is not a passive, blank void where your consciousness pauses and nothing happens. It is a vital, highly active, spiritual process. When you drift off, your analytical conscious mind steps aside so that the subconscious mind can deeply recharge, repair your nervous system, and counsel your entire being. Dr. Murphy notes that sleep deprivation causes severe psychological disorientation because it cuts off the mind's natural processing, healing, and balancing time. When you go to sleep, you are entering into a regular, intimate communion with infinite wisdom. The worries and struggles of the day melt away, allowing your deeper mind to perform its miracle-working functions unhindered. If you are facing a critical life decision, a complex business deal, or a dangerous situation, do not make rushed, panicked choices during your waking hours. Instead, hand the issue over to your subconscious right before you sleep. Lie down, relax your muscles, and firmly declare, sleep brings counsel. Through dreams, sudden waking impressions, or strong intuitive hunches upon waking up, your deeper mind will steer you away from disaster and guide you toward immense safety and prosperity. Many historical figures avoided fatal train crashes or bad business mergers simply because a sudden, powerful premonition during sleep warned them to change their plans. Treat sleep as a sacred classroom. Chapter 14. Your subconscious mind and marital problems. All marital discord, friction, and eventual divorce do not happen overnight. They begin primarily as negative, unexpressed, and recurring thoughts inside the individual minds of the couple. Marriage is a sacred union of hearts, built upon the bedrock of honesty, love, mutual respect, and spiritual alignment. When a couple allows irritation, resentment, and bitterness to fester, they are silently programming their subconscious minds to push each other away. Murphy warns couples against the highly destructive habits of mutual recrimination, nagging, brooding over old grudges, or trying to forcefully change their partner's personality traits. Trying to remake your spouse into a replica of your own ideals is a form of mental tyranny that breeds intense resentment. If you are single and want to attract the ideal life partner, you must first construct a mental blueprint of the exact psychological and spiritual qualities you admire, such as kindness, loyalty, emotional stability, and spiritual depth. Dwell on these traits until they sink into your subconscious. Once your mind accepts this template, it will act like a magnet, drawing that exact person into your physical life. For those already married, The secret to protection is simple. Couples should actively pray together every single day. By intentionally forgiving each other's minor flaws and focusing on each other's strengths, you keep your shared mental atmosphere free from toxic currents. Chapter 15, your subconscious mind and your happiness. Happiness is not an external luxury that happens to you when everything goes perfectly. Happiness is a deliberate, conscious choice that you must make every single day. Many people make the fatal mistake of attaching arbitrary conditions to their happiness, believing they will be happy only if they get a certain promotion, buy $1 million home, marry a specific person, or when their bank account hits a certain number. This is a trap, because once those conditions are met, the ego simply invents new conditions, leaving you perpetually unfulfilled. Happiness is entirely a harvest of a quiet, tranquil mind. If you make it a daily habit to wake up, relax your body, and firmly declare that peace, divine guidance, love, and abundance are flowing into your life, you imprint a joyful template onto your subconscious mind. Dr. Murphy shares that the happiest people are those who consistently cultivate the inner fruits of the spirit, knowing that no external event can ever shake a mind anchored in universal truths. You must choose happiness first, before the external world can reflect it back to you. If you wake up in the morning and choose to look at the world through a lens of fear, cynicism, and complaint, your subconscious will validate that choice by drawing miserable circumstances and unpleasant people directly to you. Trust your inner mind to generate joy and watch your physical life transform. Chapter 16, your subconscious mind and harmonious human relations. The golden master key to achieving beautiful, harmonious relationships with other people is rooted in a deep understanding of psychological karma. With what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. What you think, feel, or say about another person, you are actually writing directly into your own subconscious experience. Your subconscious mind cannot take a joke, and it does not know the difference between you and someone else. Therefore, if you harbor intense hatred, bitter jealousy, or cutting resentment toward a difficult colleague, a cruel boss, or an annoying family member, you aren't hurting them at all. You are pouring psychological poison into your own subjective mind. This inner poison results in your own lack, misery, and eventual physical sickness. Murphy advises practicing deep empathy. When dealing with unpleasant, highly combative, or critical people, realize that their difficult behavior is merely an external symptom of their own inner sickness, fear, and misery. Happy, fulfilled people do not go around hurting others. When you encounter a toxic person, wish them peace, health, and liberation. By doing this, you instantly insulate yourself from their negative energy. You deny them the power to upset you, ensuring that your own inner world remains entirely peaceful and unblemished. Chapter 17, how to use your subconscious mind for forgiveness. Forgiveness is an absolute, non-negotiable requirement for physical healing, mental freedom, and true peace of mind. Life, by its very nature, never holds a grudge against you. If you accidentally cut your finger or make a massive mistake, the infinite intelligence immediately coordinates your biological systems to knit the skin back together, fight infection, and restore balance. Life always forgives you. However, humans frequently refuse to forgive themselves or others, locking themselves in a self-destructive prison of guilt, shame, bitterness, and condemnation. This mental block stops the healing flow of life force energy, leading to physical disease. Forgiveness is love in action. To truly forgive someone, you do not have to like them or hang out with them. You must completely withdraw your emotional condemnation from their memory. You must release them. The acid test of genuine forgiveness is simple. When you encounter that person or think of their name in the future, do you still feel a sting of anger, or do you feel completely neutral and wish them well? If you feel neutral, you have successfully forgiven them. True forgiveness cuts the chains of emotional bondage, empties your subconscious of toxic waste, and sets you free to live a life of pure joy. Chapter 18. How your subconscious removes mental blocks. Whether you are trying to break a destructive habit like alcoholism, clear away a nasty temper, overcome chronic procrastination, or stop overeating, the battle cannot be won through raw, brute willpower or forced discipline. When you use intense willpower to fight a bad habit head-on, you are actually focusing heavily on the negative behavior. Because your subconscious mind responds to the object of your intense focus, trying to forcefully resist a habit only cements the mental block further into your subconscious mind. You are feeding the problem with your own anxious attention. Instead, you must use the law of substitution. Your mind cannot hold two opposing concepts simultaneously. Light and darkness cannot occupy the same room at the same time. If you suffer from an addiction or a negative mental block, stop obsessing over the substance or the struggle to quit. Instead, close your eyes, enter a calm, drowsy, or meditative state, and run vivid mental movies of yourself, completely free, radiant, peaceful, and embraced by your loved ones. Focus 51% or more of your daily attention on the ideal state of freedom and sobriety. Feel the relief of being cured. When you persistently feed the subconscious the feeling of freedom, it will inevitably shatter the old habit loop for you, making the physical temptation dissolve naturally. Chapter 19. How to use your subconscious mind to remove fear. Fear is man's greatest internal enemy, acting as the primary root cause behind failure, sickness, artificial lack, and broken human relations. Murphy explains that there are only two types of fear. Normal fear, which is a healthy, built-in survival instinct to protect you from immediate physical danger, like stepping back when a car speeds toward you. And abnormal fear, which is a toxic product of a runaway, undisciplined imagination. Abnormal fear occurs when you constantly imagine failure, tragedy, disease, and disaster, causing your subconscious to bring those exact fears to life. The classic, time-tested strategy to destroy any abnormal fear is straightforward. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. If you suffer from stage fright, fear of water, fear of closed spaces, or public speaking, do not hide from it or let it restrict your life choices. Before you face the physical situation, relax your body, close your eyes, and visualize yourself executing the task with flawless poise, absolute joy, and widespread applause. By overriding the internal panic with a controlled, calm mental template, you strip the fear of its power. When you physically step into the situation backed by your new mental preparation, the fear evaporates and you step into absolute freedom. Chapter 20. How to Stay Young in Spirit Forever. In this final, beautiful chapter, Dr. Murphy redefines the entire concept of aging. Age is not a chronological count of years spent on Earth. Age is the dawn of wisdom, spiritual maturity, and deeper understanding. Your mind and spirit are fundamentally immortal. They do not grow old, wrinkle, or decay unless you allow them to do so in your thoughts. You grow old the very moment you stop dreaming, lose interest in life, and become crotchety, petulant, and resentful of the younger generation. Diets and physical exercises alone won't keep you young. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Retirement should never be viewed as a passive holding cell for death or a period of uselessness. Instead, view it as a grand, exciting new venture, a golden opportunity to take up new studies, travel, write a book, or explore creative arts. Look ahead with faith. Fill your mind with the eternal verities of life, and remain an active producer rather than a prisoner of society's expectations. The secret of youth is love, joy, inner peace, and laughter. Keep your mind looking toward infinite life, and you will remain young in spirit forever. The overarching lesson from this masterclass is simple. You are not a helpless victim of your external world. Your mind is a literal broadcasting station, and the physical reality you experience every single day is merely the echo of your deepest, most habitual thoughts. Stop fighting external conditions with brute force. Turn inward, claim your inherent right to abundance, health, and happiness, and let the miracle-working power of your subconscious mind do the heavy lifting for you. If you found massive value in today's breakdown, please hit that like button, subscribe to Books Breakdown, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the books that can change your life. Drop a comment below letting me know which technique from today's video you're going to practice tonight before you go to sleep. Thank you so much for watching. Keep reading, keep programming your mind for greatness, and we will see you right here in the next breakdown.